I think the kind of insight side of things, where you can get insight into selflessness and the kind of absolute nature of things versus kind of the relative, preoccupation with separation, because from that mode, then, the voice is saying, like, all I'm interested in is what's wrong with me, with this person over here, because that's what I can control and that's what I need to improve. And it's incredibly kind of, it's coming very much from this relative stance of separation and looking at what's the problem with being me. And then, so I feel there's this amazing connection where once you have an experience of kind of this larger view, I guess, of kind of a stance where you're getting outside of your own mind, suddenly self-compassion seems to arise very easily, because suddenly you're just another one of all the people. And for everyone else, you can see the causes that led to their errors. But for you, when you're in the kind of relative separation, you don't give yourself that way of seeing.
Right. No, they're permanent, they're real, they're inflexible, all those faults. They're just like, we just reify them, tremendously.
And they're blamed to kind of some core essence, rather than saying, oh, a series of things happened, and that's I attribute it to the unfortunate events. In my case, no, it's me. I am the problem here. And I feel like, so there's also I just mentioned how with awareness, compassion seems to arise kind of automatically. I think you wrote about mindful attention being kind of a doorway to compassion, I'm using compassion as related to this loving tone, right? And I think that's something that people who haven't experienced the kind of thing we're talking about, maybe they think love is just another emotion on the shelf, like that sits alongside fear and anxiety, but it does seem to be kind of underneath in some way, where if you let go, you kind of fall back into it.
I think that's really true. And some people shy away from, say, doing loving kindness practice, and you don't have to do loving kindness practice, certainly to deepen the quality, even through meditation, the quality of love and compassion. But if you are, some people have a particular squeamishness about doing loving kindness meditation, because they think they're trying to force themselves to feel something they don't actually feel, and it seems hypocritical and quite inauthentic. But really, it's not about an emotional response. It's about how we're paying attention. It's like, if you think about how much, I wonder if we could ever tabulate this, how much of our day we spend criticizing ourselves and how much we spend being kind to ourselves. Or, back to that supermarket clerk. What's that movement, and what does it feel like when we are really objectifying them? As one friend of mine wrote about his experience in New York City, going into this small grocery store in the neighborhood he was in. He realized there was a person who worked there that he saw very often, and he actually never paid any attention to. Really, and he wrote, for all I noticed her, truly, she might as well have been a cash register with arms. And then he wrote about his experience of actually going in there and paying attention to her. But all those moments when we are discounting somebody, objectifying somebody, not recognizing this is a person or a creature, whatever it is, who wants to be happy, just like we want to be happy. And that movement toward just paying attention differently, which doesn't mean, you're going to take them home with you, or you're going to give them all your money, or, it's not a prescription for mandated action. But that sensibility really shifts. And this is kind of an odd story for that, but something you said really reminded me of this time I was in a car with a friend, and we were caught in this terrible, awful traffic, and we're complaining bitterly about it the entire time. And then my friend looked at me and said, well, we're the traffic too, And I thought, oh, that's right. It's like they're probably complaining about us. And somehow that sense of centrality, like it's my road, you're an interloper in my way, slowing me down. When that dropped out of the middle of my view of the universe, and we were all the traffic, which is actually true, then I felt a very different energy for dealing with the problem. Like, there's a problem. It doesn't mean that you're living in happy land, and everything is just fine. There's a problem, but it's not, the resolution is not helped by that sense of, it's really privilege. It's my road. You don't belong here. But we're all the traffic.